could never hate you. Maya's voice is steady. Sure, but I won't be a placeholder in your life, Emma. I won't be someone you call when you need something and ignore when you don't. Emma nods, understanding dawning in her eyes. I want to earn my way back, if you'll let me. Maya looks at her daughter, really looks, sees David's manipulation in the careful way Emma chooses her words, but also sees genuine remorse, sees a young woman who made terrible choices and is brave enough to face the consequences. We'll see, Maya says. It's not forgiveness, not yet, but it's not goodbye either. 6 months later, Maya pins her nursing school graduation pin to her scrubs, Paediatric ICU, Children's Hospital. The hardest cases, the most fragile patients. Emma sends a card. Simple, understated. Proud of you, Mum. Always have been. They text now, carefully. Emma shares photos from her wedding planning, asks for Maya's opinion on flowers and venues. Maya responds when she wants to, offers what she can without drowning in hope or resentment. Standing in the hospital break room at 3 a.m, Maya looks out the window at the city lights blinking like earthbound stars. In the PICU behind her, monitors beep steadily, marking the rhythm of small hearts fighting to keep beating. The rain beats against her windshield like accusations she can't answer. Maya's hands grip the steering wheel, knuckles white against the black leather. Her phone buzzes on the passenger seat, another unknown number. She doesn't look, can't look. The voicemail notification blinks like a warning light she's learned to ignore. Through the blur of water and tears she refuses to shed, she sees him. Standing under the broken streetlight outside the courthouse, soaked through his cheap suit, briefcase clutched against his chest like armour. The same man who sat across from her kitchen table 6 months ago, drinking her coffee, promising to help find her missing daughter. The same man who just walked out of that courthouse with her ex-husband's lawyer. Thunder crashes overhead, but it's nothing compared to the sound of her world breaking apart. Again, 6 months earlier. Maya Rodriguez wipes down the counter of her small diner at 5 a.m, the same rhythm she's maintained for 3 years. Coffee brewing, eggs cracking, bacon sizzling, sounds that drown out the silence where her daughter's laughter used to live. The morning regulars know not to ask about Emma anymore. They've learned to read the shadows under Maya's eyes, the way she moves through her routine like she's sleepwalking through someone else's life. She serves their coffee with a smile that never quite reaches her eyes, accepts their tips with hands that still shake when she thinks no one's looking. At home, Emma's room remains untouched. 17 years old when she vanished, leaving behind only a note saying she needed space and her father's new address crumpled in the wastebasket. Maya's ex-husband David claimed ignorance, but Maya knew. She'd always known when David was lying. The way his left eye twitched, the way he'd fidget with his wedding ring he still wore like a costume piece. Maya functions, she breathes, she exists, but she hasn't lived since the day she came home to find Emma's bed empty and cold. Maya stares at the photo on her nightstand, herself at 32, holding newborn Emma, David's arms wrapped around them both. Back then, she'd believed in forever. She'd given up her nursing degree to raise Emma, trusted David to provide, trusted that love was enough to keep a family whole. She remembers Emma at 7, curled up in bed, asking why Daddy spent so many nights at the office. Maya had made excuses then, weaving fairy tales about important work and providing for their family. She'd been so good at lying to herself that lying to Emma felt natural. The nursing textbooks still sit in a box in her closet, yellowed and outdated now. Dreams deferred become dreams denied. After the divorce, After Emma's disappearance, Maya learned that starting over at 45 meant settling for survival instead of living. She touches the photo, tracing Emma's infant face. Somewhere out there, her daughter is 20 now. A woman Maya doesn't know, shaped by 3 years of absence and whatever lies David filled those years with. The ghost of who she was, mother, wife, dreamer, haunts every corner of her small apartment. The stranger appears on a Tuesday morning when the rain turns the world grey. He's sitting in the corner booth when Maya opens, soaked through and shivering. "Marcus Chen," he says when she brings him coffee. "Private investigator. He's been looking for her." "I specialise in missing persons," he explains, sliding a business card across the sticky table. "I heard about your daughter. I think I can help." Maya's heart stops, then hammers against her ribs. "How did you? I have connections. Resources your local police don't." His eyes are kind but intense, like he sees through all her careful armour. "I won't lie to you, Mrs. Rodriguez. These cases are difficult, but I have a good track record." He shows her photos on his phone. Other families reunited, other mothers hugging daughters they thought were lost forever. Maya wants to believe so desperately it physically hurts, but something whispers wrong in the back of her mind. How did he know where to find her? How did he know she'd be here this early? She's never advertised her pain, never posted on social media about Emma's disappearance. She pushes the doubt down, drowns it in hope. "What do you need from me?" The smile that crosses his face should feel reassuring. Instead, it feels practiced. Marcus becomes a fixture in Maya's life. He visits the diner 3 times a week, always ordering the same thing: black coffee and apple pie. He asks gentle questions about Emma, about David, about the months before Emma disappeared. Maya finds herself telling him things she's never told anyone. "David was having an affair," she whispers one rainy Thursday, the words scraping her throat raw. "I think Emma found out. I think that's why she left." Marcus nods, takes notes in a leather journal that never leaves his side. Did Emma ever mention feeling unsafe? Threatened? The question lodges in Maya's chest like a splinter. "You think something happened to her?" "I think your ex-husband knows more than he's saying." Maya starts sleeping even less. She finds herself watching Marcus when he thinks she's not looking, studying the way he holds his pen, the careful way he phrases his questions. Sometimes she catches him staring at her with an expression she can't name. Her regular customers notice her distraction. She burns eggs, forgets orders, spills coffee with trembling hands. Mrs. Chen from the flower shop next door asks if she's okay, but Maya just smiles and lies. At night, she lies in bed staring at the ceiling, Marcus's business card clutched in her palm until the edges soften with sweat. Hope and fear wage war in her chest, and she's not sure which one is winning. The call comes on a Saturday morning. Marcus's voice is tight with excitement. "Maya, I found her. Emma's safe. She's been living with your ex-husband in Phoenix this whole time." Maya's legs give out. She sinks to her kitchen floor, phone pressed against her ear like a lifeline. "Is she? Can I talk to her?" "There's more, Maya. David's been using Emma to hide assets from your divorce settlement. Money he stole from your joint accounts. I have documents. I don't care about the money." Maya is crying now, 3 years of held breath finally released. "I just want my daughter." There's going to be a custody hearing, Monday morning. David's lawyer is claiming Emma ran away because you were unstable, but I have evidence. Maya can barely think through the rush of joy and rage and relief. Her daughter is alive. Her daughter has been 20 minutes away from David's old office this entire time, and Maya has been serving coffee and dying slowly by degrees. Monday morning, Maya sits in the courthouse bathroom, hands shaking as she applies lipstick. Today she gets Emma back. Today she stops being a ghost. But when she walks into the courtroom, her world tilts sideways. Marcus is sitting at David's table, papers spread between them, talking in low voices like old friends. Their eyes meet across the room. Marcus's face is calm, almost apologetic. The bailiff calls the court to order, and Maya realizes she's been played by an expert. Maya doesn't scream, doesn't rage, doesn't collapse in the courthouse hallway like they probably expect her to. She simply stands up, walks out, and drives home in perfect silence. In her apartment, she moves like a sleepwalker. She packs Emma's room, every stuffed animal, every photo, every piece of clothing that still smells like the daughter who chose her father's lies over her mother's love. The boxes go into storage. The room becomes an office. Marcus calls 17 times. His voicemails progress from apology to justification to silence. Maya listens to none of them. She changes her number, installs new locks, closes the bank account he helped David find. She learns the full scope of the con from David's lawyer, who feels obligated to explain. Marcus Chen isn't a private investigator. He's David's cousin, a paralegal who specialises in asset recovery. They'd been planning this for months, using Maya's desperation to get information about hidden accounts and property she might have claimed in the divorce. Emma had never been missing. She'd been living with David since graduation, convinced by his careful poison that her mother had abandoned them both. Maya's grief isn't hot anymore. It's cold, crystalline, sharp enough to cut. She's mourned Emma for 3 years. Now she mourns the naive woman who believed in strangers with kind eyes and practiced smiles. Maya sells the diner. The new owners keep most of her staff, but Maya takes her regulars' well wishes and disappears. She enrolls in an online nursing program. 48 isn't too late to remember who she wanted to be. The textbooks are different now, but her hands remember how to care for people, how to listen to heartbeats and read vital signs, and offer comfort without expecting anything in return. She moves to a small coastal town where nobody knows her story. Rents a tiny apartment above a bookstore. Waitresses part-time while she studies. The ocean reminds her that some things endure, that tides come and go, but the water itself remains. Dr. Sarah Kim, her anatomy professor, notices Maya's dedication. "You have good instincts," she says, after Maya correctly identifies a heart murmur during clinical practice. "You should consider pediatrics." Maya thinks of Emma at 7, fevering through the flu, while Maya held cool washcloths to her forehead and sang lullabies. "I'm not sure I'm good with children anymore." The best nurses are the ones who've learned that healing includes grieving, Dr. Kim says gently, both for patients and for themselves. Maya doesn't date, doesn't trust easily, but she learns to sleep through the night again. She learns to laugh at her study group's terrible medical jokes. She learns that survival can slowly transform into something resembling peace. Emma finds her on a Thursday evening, 2 years later. Maya is studying on her small balcony when she sees a familiar figure standing by the bookstore's front entrance, 22 now, with David's stubborn chin and Maya's dark eyes, beautiful and unsure and heartbreakingly alive. "Mom!" Emma's voice cracks on the word. Maya sets down her textbook, takes a slow breath, walks downstairs without running, though every instinct screams at her to fly. They sit on the bench outside the bookstore. Emma talks for an hour, about college, about slowly understanding her father's lies, about finding Maya's new address, and driving 6 hours to deliver an apology that can't possibly cover 3 years of absence. "I was 17, Emma says, crying now. I believed him when he said you chose the divorce over us. I believed him when he said you didn't want to see me. Maya listens, studies her daughter's face, memorizes the woman Emma has become without her. What changed your mind? I got engaged. Emma shows her a simple ring, silver band with a tiny stone. When Jake asked about the wedding, about walking me down the aisle, I realised I couldn't marry someone without my mother there, even if you hated me. She thinks of Marcus Chen sometimes, wonders if he sleeps well, knowing he broke a mother's heart for money. She thinks of David, probably telling new lies to new people, spinning new webs of careful manipulation. Mostly, she thinks of the woman she used to be, naive, trusting, desperate to believe in kindness from strangers. Maya presses her palm against the cool window glass. She's learned that healing isn't forgetting. It's choosing who deserves access to your wounded places and who deserves only your strength. The rain starts again outside, drumming against the hospital windows like a lullaby. Maya walks back to her patients, back to her purpose, back to the life she built from the ashes of her old dreams. Some storms teach you to dance in the rain. Others teach you the power of shelter. Maya has learned both.